Hi guys, this is PackRat556 here. Wanted to take a moment to share with you my outdoor survival kit. This is a small compact kit which I could keep on my belt, right on my person, so that I'd have my supplies close. I would use this if I were, say, on a day hike and I didn't want to carry a regular rucksack or backpack. Then this is something I could keep on my belt and know that I had my basic survival gear with me, just in case I should become stranded or become lost. For whatever reason, I would have some basic things on hand, some basic tools on hand that I could address survival needs. If you're familiar with basic survival training, you know that there's 4 things in a survival situation that you have to secure. First one being shelter, the second one being fire, the third one being water, and the fourth one being food. Depending on your situation, normally food is not the first thing on the list. Most of the time, especially if you're in a colder climate, I would say the shelter and the fire would be the most important things that you would want to secure first, with water being close behind. As you know, the human body can only survive about 3 days without water, whereas on the other hand, you can go about 3 weeks without food. So the tools in this kit will help me to secure these things, these basic needs, especially the fire, the shelter, and the water up front, and to some degree it'll help me with securing some food items as well. Just to show you the kit before I unpack it, it is a Condor brand EMT pouch, which if you watch my cheaper than dirt gear video, which is on this channel also, my new gear, this was one of those items. I did have this in a different pouch before, the same kit, added a couple items and upgraded this pouch, and I'm really glad I did. I think this is an excellent quality pouch to keep everything organized. As you can see, it does have the MOLLE webbing on it, which I have used to secure my mini Maglite, and yes, it's very secure. This is a Maglite which I have upgraded to LEDs so as to make my batteries last as long as possible. It's not as bright as the lamp that was in there, but for this kit, batteries being conserved is very important. Just to show you a little more about the pouch, it is a heavy, well-made pouch. Has the large, quick attach or detached belt loops on the back, which you can see are, this is probably 4 inches or more, so it would fit any style belt basically you should be wearing. Even a military style pistol belt, this can be carried on that. But that's basically the pouch. What I'm going to do is unpack it, and then I'll show you item by item what I have inside. I have seen several videos about this type of a kit here on YouTube. I know Ryan J has an excellent video on this. Some of the items will be familiar in my kit, but there may be a couple things that are different here or there. But anyhow, if you're interested in packing one of these kits up for yourself, definitely watch several videos. That way you can get the best of the different ideas that are out there. Anyway, stay tuned, and I'll show you the items inside. Okay guys, I think we've got everything from the kit all unpacked here, and I wanted to take a minute to show you item by item what I keep in my survival kit. The first item, and I think one of the most important things that you can have in your kit, is a good knife. Obviously, because of the size of this kit, I have to use a smaller pocket knife style, but this is a U.S. issue Camillus pocket knife. It's got several attachments in it. It's got the regular cutting blade, which is a good blade that stays sharp. I've used this knife a lot. It also has a can opener, bottle opener, has a screwdriver, a flat blade screwdriver point, and also something that's very useful is as a leather punch, which can be used for prying, can be used for drilling, and also it works great striking my fire steel as a backup way to strike that. So definitely a good knife is important to keep in your kit. Choose yours wisely. Also, no knife would be complete without a good sharpener. And this is a little handheld sharpener. It's made by Gerber. It actually has 2 different parts to it. It has a coarse sharpener and a fine edge sharpener. And this one works pretty good, and so I keep it with the knife always. Just in case I should lose this or this should become damaged, I do have a backup. This is just a lightweight, disposable type X-Acto knife. It does have blades, several blades on it. You can break these off as it gets dull, and you have a new blade ready to cut. And these things cost like $1. So it weighs practically nothing, something that I put in my kit as a backup. The first survival need that we're going to need to address is fire. And most of the time when people think about a survival kit, they think about waterproof matches. Always keep waterproof matches in the kit. These are made by Coghlan. I do have an extra striker in here with them. I do have them sealed in a small peel bag, so that way they stay waterproof, and if they should get wet, they're still waterproof matches. So I keep those. There's about 20 of those in this pack. I replenish them as I use them. Okay. Probably the fire method that I would choose before I would even take out my matches would be my fire steel. This is a Light My Fire brand Swedish fire steel. I'll just keep it on a little Night Ice S-Beaner. But this is something that I use a lot. I actually have some better fire steels than this one, but this one's the smallest and lightest, so it's the one I keep in this pouch. This thing is good for about 3,000 strikes according to the company, and it works great. It really works good, as long as you have good tinder. Now, of course, I can find some natural tinder in the wilderness, but just in case I can't, or if everything's wet, I keep this as well. And this is just some cotton balls packed in a Ziploc bag, also in a pill bag to keep them dry. Normally I'll keep these soaked in like some petroleum jelly or Vaseline, and these are an excellent tinder that work perfect with this fire steel. So definitely we've got two methods there that we can depend on for starting fire. Also with the S-Beaner, when I have my fire steel, if I don't want to keep it in my pack, I wanted to keep it out where I can get to it a little bit more readily, I can hang this on my belt loop, and a lot of times I'll carry this on a belt loop as well. The next thing that we're going to want to talk about is how to build a shelter, and so I've got some items in my pack. First of all, I keep this emergency blanket, and this is a Coleman brand. I've got probably some better ones. This one's the most compact because I haven't opened it, but this is a Mylar style blanket. These are really good in survival situations, and I could use it as something to give me shelter. To help me in building that shelter, I have about 20 to 25 foot of paracord. And as you guys probably already know, this is good not only because the cord is a very rugged cord, but it also has the interior parts to it which can be taken out and used as well. So this could help me in constructing a shelter for lashing logs or poles together that I might cut. How am I going to cut poles? I have a pocket survival saw. And this is also made by Coghlan's. This saw actually works really well as long as you're careful with it. I can use this in cutting firewood. Also, I could use it in cutting the poles that I would lash together and use my Mylar blanket to create my shelter. So this would definitely be a handy item. Hardly weighs anything, so definitely something I keep in this kit. Let's move on to water. First of all, this is an idea I got from seeing some videos here on YouTube. Coffee filter. If I find a water source, and in my area there's generally water available, I can find a water source, I can use a coffee filter to filter it through. I've always heard use a t-shirt or a bandana, but this is something I can keep in there. That way I don't have to wet my t-shirt, and I can filter water through. Also, I have the aluminum foil, which once I get my fire started, I'm going to need a way to purify my water. And so I can use this tin foil to create a pot or a bowl that I can boil that water in to purify it with my campfire. Also, I could use this to cook in when I secure some food. So definitely good things to keep in the kit. The next item in my water carrying kit is a platypus, and this is actually a folding or collapsible water bottle. This is a 1 liter bottle, but it collapses down to hardly any. It doesn't take a whole lot of space because it's very flat, other than this cap, and very lightweight. And again, if I find a water source and I'm traveling and I want to make sure I have some good water with me, I can fill this bottle up and keep it with me, and that way I can use this to purify in my campfire with the aluminum foil. Or I've got a couple other methods here. I have a Aquamira. This is the Frontier model, personal